You will own nothing and you will be happy. You probably heard those words. I think it was Klaus Schwaub from World Economic Forum. He stated those words a couple of years ago. And I remember it was such a huge... It got a little dramatic over what he said. And I'm not saying that I agree with anything of what they say. And because I know that they are part of an elite group of people, obviously. But what I am wanting to touch about is the deeper meaning behind those words, because I think it's kind of interesting, because I remember that there was so many people, especially here where I live, they freaked out about these statements. And if you dig a little deeper, you understand why they're freaking out. Because when someone say to you that you should be happy with owning less, you should be happy with not having anything, basically. If you really think about it, isn't that really what you want? I mean, why would you want to be a slave to your things, to your properties, to your materialistic things? Because if that's your reality, that means that you're never free. You will never be free, because you will always be entangled to those things. So what the deeper meaning of these words is that you will own nothing and you will be happy. That should mean that you have transcended yourself to the point where you are free from being perceived as a person who has certain objects. Because in this awakening path, we usually going through different steps. And one of the first steps, when you are very low in the consciousness or on the scale of vibration, is that you perceive yourself as someone who has something. Your value is based on what you have. So let's say that maybe you're a rich person, maybe you're a multi-millionaire or something like that. You have accumulated a lot of materialistic things, a lot of wealth. You have cars, you have boats, maybe you have several properties or something like that. Your value is based on what you have, which means that your value is based on what other people see that you have. So when you move beyond that, you probably move to the state a little higher up, when you are perceived more as a person who do something. He does this and he or she does this. It could be maybe that you are a lawyer, you're a doctor or something. Someone with a high status in the society. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur, you're someone that, I don't know, speaks in front of a lot of people, you have an audience. You're an influencer in today's world. Something that you do that gives you the value that you want. And which is obviously a lot better than if you are stuck on the lower end. But if you move beyond even that, you take a step further ahead as well, you move even higher up, you're gonna be perceived as a person who just are. You don't really need anything, you don't have to do anything, because you have elevated yourself to the state that you just are. And that's the third level, you can say. And if you really look into what he said, Klaus Schwab, there is exactly that. You will own nothing and you will be happy, because if you have transcended yourself from where you used to be, you should get to that place where you just are, or at least get to the place where you do something, but that's where your value comes from. But I mean, if we are staying at that low level of consciousness, that we need to have certain things in order to be feeling good about ourselves. We need to have certain things in order to feel respected. We need to feel a certain way, feel as accepted in the society, feel accepted by our friends and families. That's not a very good place to be in. That's not a very good place long term as well, if you view it a couple of years from here now. So it's always so funny, and this is also very connected to how we approach our reality, how we perceive our reality, because I mentioned it before, there's so many people living on this earth now, and everyone has their own perceived reality. So viewing those words and this statement is, from the common masses, viewed as very negatively, because most people are vibrating very low. About 85% of the people in the world are vibrating below 200 on this scale, on this consciousness scale that I have up here, which means that they are all of their thoughts basically, and all the day-to-day activities they do and what they consume is based on negativity. When I talk to people, they feed from that type of energy. They get off basically from talking about negative stuff and complaining and whining and judging and talking shit about other people. That's what they like to do because they get energy from it. So it's not very weird that most people freak out when he says that. And I can be honest, when I was younger, I got a little scared when someone said that you shouldn't own anything. Like, but at the end of the day, when you just think about it, like if you own so much, you are always stuck and tied to a certain location. You cannot move because you always need to take care of the things that you have. That's why they usually say that the more things you own, the less free you are, because you need to take care of everything, obviously. So for me, when I hear those words now, and I probably had a negative view on this statement 4 years ago. I think it was maybe when he first time he said it to 3. But for myself, I changed a lot since then. And now that I think about it, that is actually what we should want. And the thing is, like, if you view it in another way, like I said, you can see it in the sense that I don't need to have anything. I don't need to own anything, but I can choose to do it. That's the completely different thing. And that's usually also when we will get the things that we want. That's why we can manifest things. But if we manifest things in the way that we need to have them in order to change our inner state, that will never happen. But if we get to the place that we are so satisfied with ourselves, we are feeling so good about what we are and what we do each and every moment, then why would we want to change? Why would we need a change from something outside from ourselves? Because we don't need it. Because we already have it, and we already got it. So clearly it's different way how we view it. I choose to view it in a way that it will do very good for humanity if we own less stuff. I can take from my own experience when I've been traveling, because I've been traveling a lot from both in Asia, I've been in North America, and I've seen some really poor places. And one thing that always struck me is that the most happy people I've seen, the most happy kids I've ever seen, was the people who come from the most disgusting upbringings when we talk about wealth and having like a decent living in that way. Like one time I was in Cambodia and we were driving out to the suburbs and we were passing so many poor houses, or if you can even call it houses, it was more like boxes, wooden shelters they were living in, but the kids were out playing, having the greatest time of their life, and it just looked so genuine, you know. And when I look back into my place where I live, that's never what I see. I usually see people who are very depressed, to be honest. A lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, chasing things to in some way stimulate their life and themselves because they can't find it from within. And so that's just something that we have been brainwashed as well with, that we need to have things in order to be happy, you know, but that's not the case. Usually it's the other way around, at least from my own experience. So you will own nothing and be happy is you make it out how we want it to be. Because of course in the conspiracy movements they will say that's going to be the case, that we can't have anything. It's not going to be like that. That's just BS. I can tell you right now. You can choose to feed off that negativity and to believe in these words. And if they were to happen, okay, sure, then it will happen. That's our reality. That's our experience, and we're just gonna choose to live according to it and accept it for what it is. That's what I'm saying to you. You need to get to the point where you accept yourself, because you should be able to be whatever you are at any single moment and be okay with that. And to be honest, like for myself, I just like 6-7 months ago this year, I was in a total different state. I was in a state where I had this huge desire to be somewhere else, aka traveling, be on a different location than where I am now, and doing something else than what I do on a regular basis. And the only thing what that really was I made that up in my own mind. So when I could just change that I started living in the moment more when I do things when I was working. I realized this is kind of fun, because when I calm down the mind and I still it, I don't stress about anything else, because I can change that thing at the moment. So why choose to suffer? Why not just choose to experience things as they are now and be okay with it, and let go of this idea I have that I need to be somewhere else? So that's why I'm saying that you need to come to the place where you can do anything and still be okay with it. Because if you're always chasing something externally from outside yourself, because you're hoping that that thing will solve your inner state, your internal state, then you are wrong, and you have been lied to, and you've been misled. Because that's an illusion, that will never happen. And usually that will never tend to be manifested into your life as well, because there's going to be a blockage in energy. You're forcing it. It needs to come naturally for you. So there's so many things that you will see when you enter in this path, and you just observing your own personal illusion. You will see that things will just align with you naturally, and things are just perfect as it is. To be honest, that's so interesting. So I think, like I said, 3-4 years ago when I saw this statement, I was a little freaked out as well. But I think I was more freaked out because the other people around me were talking so much crap about it and negativity. But when you think about it, I think that's the best thing for a lot of people, especially where I live, because I come from a very materialistic society. People view materialistic as the main goal, But we can always look at everything. Most things are actually connected to fear. People are scared of not being acknowledged. They're scared of not having like a status. They're scared of not having things, and to be perceived as this high value dude or girl, let's say. So if we can just let go of these ideas and these fears, it will do us very good. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about this message. Have an awesome day. We'll talk soon. Take care now.